Welcome to the streamers who are there. How do you got me, man? Everyone got me good? We're going to go quick 25 minutes here, and then I'll check out. How we doing? Who's talking to me back in New York? We got you, Purnell. Eric is here. Hey, Eric, do you have Carlisle from last night on Haliburton? Yeah. Have that. What else you have for me? Talk to me, guys. We start in a minute. What do you got for sound that you want to play? Okay. Okay.
Live updates from the evening's biggest games. Join the conversation at 888-MAD-DOG-6. That's 888-623-3646. The Sports.
Out of the gate, JT, as we begin live from Las Vegas, and we're in between periods here as Edmonton is in trouble. Edmonton is in big trouble. They look like they're about to be eliminated, and the Cup is in Florida, Sunrise, Florida. And this could be the end of everything when it comes to McJesus and Draisaitl and the experiment that we've had for this great Oilers team, a very good team. An elite team, no doubt about it. Back-to-back cups, potential back-to-back cup losses. My Vegas Golden Knights beat the Florida Panthers in the Stanley Cup a couple of years ago. Or we'd be talking about a three-peat tonight in Sunrise, Florida. There's still a period to play. Welcome into the show. Whenever there is a championship on the line, we focus on that. And hopefully we'll get some hockey interaction tonight from hockey fans all over the country. And I don't know what our Canadian brothers to the north think tonight. But you Canadians got to be pretty pissed off that you can't beat teams from Sunrise, Florida, Boca Raton to Las Vegas, Nevada. You got to be kidding me here. And I know all of our Canadian allies to the north want to get a cup back. But you just can't do it. This Florida team is a menace. They are gritty. They are gutty. Like all teams in Florida seem to be gritty and gutty, like the Rays and other teams. They hang in there and they play tough. And it just looks like the chemistry on this Florida team, the way they play defense, the way they hustle, just the way they get to lose pucks is tremendous to see. So the Florida Panthers are on the verge of winning a Stanley Cup and going back to back. And they're a very good team and we're here for it. So if it happens, great. I'm not like this is an American win over Canada because all these guys play from Canada. So it's Canadians fighting against Canadians. But for our Canadian friends and or sports fans who mean a lot to us here, this has got to be driving you nuts. So maybe we'll see something late in this game. Maybe we'll see something special and we can go with that. But as I open up the show, I'm pretty shocked, man. I thought Edmonton in this McDavid Draisaitl run would get a cup. And it reminds me of Giannis when he went to Milwaukee. I said when Giannis got to Milwaukee, he was only going to spend a few years there unless he won a championship. He ended up winning a championship, and now Giannis is probably leaving, right? Played in a small market. He got the ring. He gave the city the ring, and now he has the right to go wherever he wants to go. I say the same thing about Connor McDavid. If they don't come back heroically tonight and win this game, I don't see him staying in Edmonton and putting his career on the line and playing in that market any much more after this. I mean, he'll make more money playing there, but will it be worth it for him? But let's wait and see. We got another period of hockey to get to. And again, hello, everybody. JT in Vegas today. Very busy day. We're at the point now where we got to get to the NBA Finals, the Stanley Cup, a lot of baseball. Cranky Yankee is looming as the Yankees get shut out again. Here's the final call of another Yankee collapse. This team has been the worst team in baseball over the last calendar week, and they lose again at home. All right, so that's Angels Radio on the call. I would fire Aaron Boone tonight. I would fire him by sunrise in the morning. I've been saying this for years. Forget about, if you don't believe me, unfollow me on social media. Boone's got to go. After the debacle and the sweep in Boston, did not score a run against the Angels in 2 nights, and to have the energy that this team has in front of his home fans, we, the Yankee fans, have seen enough. The Yankee universe has seen enough. It's time for him to go. And you might say, well, the record's okay. No, that's not the point. We, the Yankee universe, cannot win with Aaron Boone. He's proven it year after year after year after year. The team doesn't answer to him anymore. They're embarrassing ownership, the Steinbrenner family. Brian Cashman has an opportunity to fire him and bring in someone, and we can go through the list because I have a list, and I don't care if it's Don Mattingly or Willie Randolph or a legend of the past, or you want to take Brad Osmus or go get a bench guy on another team. I'm done with Boone. I'm done with Boone on this, and I'm sick and tired of Yankee fans not having the balls to match my energy on this topic. And this channel and station is based in New York City, where there are more Yankee fans than anywhere on God's green earth. It's time for you Yankee fans to get pushed instead of coddled. It's time for you Yankee fans, instead of getting a kiss on the cheek, get pushed up against the wall and be told by someone who knows the Yankees longer and better than you that this has got to stop. This insanity has got to stop. We're done with this insanity of Aaron Boone leading this team to have streaks like this year in and year out. I don't care if they take 2 out of 3 from the Royals and the Twins. When push comes to shove, this team is not prepared. They got a bunch of 230, 240 hitters, a bunch of guys who strike out, and they are in the middle of a swoon. And I would make the move sooner than later. This is not a panic move. I've been calling for Aaron Boone's job for years right now because he's not the right guy. I've been right. They've been wrong. Make the call on Boone. Get him out of the Bronx. Wish him well. He hit one of the biggest home runs in Yankee history as a player. He's won a lot of games. He is not the answer for this team. Plenty of managers and hockey coaches have been fired after going to the Stanley Cup and losing. You could get rid of Boone. And I want to hear about this. He's coaching the All-Star team. Make more news, Yankee fans. Get rid of this guy. He's taken our Yankees into a level that we can't get up. We can't get off the mat with this guy. He can't hit. He can't get in the cage and teach hitting. He doesn't know situational baseball. He can't handle a bullpen. He is not a good manager. It's fact, not fiction. 888 Mad Dog 6. Let's see if we get a Yankee fan to check in with me tonight, because I'm just sick and tired of this crap. And I'm just upset because my son said it best. He said, here we go again, Dad. He can see it happening, and we can see this happening a mile away. All right, the other big topic I wanted to get, that is Mad JT. If you're watching, JT the Brick Y2 on YouTube. If you see what I'm doing here, I'm furious. Cranky Yankee. That's why my wife says, get out of the house. Leave. Go out of town. Go out with your friends. You're Cranky Yankee. I'm Cranky Yankee tonight. Last night, we saw something very rare in sports. We saw a player who could not do anything correct. We saw a player in Tyrese Haliburton who couldn't score the basketball allowed to play in the game. I was very proud of the show we did last night, because as we put the show together, Purnell and I was saying, listen, we got to change this topic here. We could see what was happening as the game was live, something I think we're pretty good at. We don't have to wait. We knew what was happening, and we were looking at everything that was going on, and we said to ourselves, this doesn't work. This doesn't work. And Stephen A. Smith at halftime made it clear that there was a chance to bench Haliburton the rest of the way. And then that went viral on social media. And I said, oh, my God, Stephen A. was right. Stephen A., who gets paid to be an analyst for ABC, ESPN, said that Haliburton is minus, 18 at the time, whatever he is. He's not playing well. Get him out of the game. He's not 100%. They let him stay in the game because Haliburton dictated that he could stay in the game. That shouldn't be happening in sports. That the star, if someone is able to go to the bench because they're not playing well, the coach has got to override the emotions of the moment. And say to the player, look, man, you're my guy. You've been my guy all year, but I can't let you play. You're hurting the team. And TJ McConnell was playing really well in less minutes, and he was putting up better numbers than Haliburton. So anybody could be a Monday morning quarterback or a Tuesday morning NBA quarterback and say it was pretty obvious at the time. But no, last night it should have been obvious to all of us that Rick Carlisle didn't have the ability to pull Tyrese Haliburton because he trusted Haliburton's success of the past and didn't want to embarrass him by putting him on the bench. Haliburton, who's a very proud player and a very good player, and man, he's played great throughout the postseason. He was in a position where he did not want to come out of the game because he had adrenaline flowing, and he didn't want to come out of the game because he thought he could help his team. That's when a head coach in sports has got to override the player and say, no, this is not your night. You're not 100%, and we're going to sit you down. Now we find more out about the injury. Shams on ESPN reported this injury earlier in the day. Here's the latest update going forward on Tyrese Haliburton.
Has strained his right calf, and I'm told he will undergo an MRI to determine the exact severity of this strain. And remember, this is the same leg that he had ankle soreness in last week. He was adamant after Game 5 that he would be playing in Thursday's Game 6 of the NBA Finals. It is the NBA Finals, but it was described to me today that if this were the regular season or even the first round, there's doubt that he would play. So once the Pacers and Haliburton get the results back on this MRI, on that calf strain, they're going to be able to identify the severity and then huddle and map out exactly what the plan will be going into Game 6.
All right, so what I'd like from you tonight is this big general topic in sports. When a coach has to override the player. We were kind of late last night on this because the game ended and we were doing post-game and sound. We didn't have a lot of time to dig into this. I dug into it earlier today on my show in Vegas, and we got into it a little bit. Do you recall a time in your life where the coach in your city of your team told the player that he had to sit? Bench the player during the game. It's hard to figure out when. When was the last time you remember as a young boy or a young gal and you remember one of your players getting benched? And I'm not talking about a goalie being pulled in the first period when it's 3-0. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a quarterback being benched in a game. I don't recall this anymore. This is like the olden days in sports where someone started off poorly and you just benched them. In baseball, we do it. If a pitcher gives up 3 home runs in the first inning and they're down 7-0, and you can't get anybody out, you pull the pitcher. It's not the end of the world. But it comes down to the fact that are there any coaches left that you can recall tonight that have the ability to bench a star? Tyrese Haliburton's a star. He hurt his team last night tremendously. He hurt him. He played 34 minutes and he didn't score a basket. He had 4 free throws. He was terrible in the game. He had one of the greatest box scores of all time against the Knicks and arguably the worst box score of all time in the NBA Finals, and the coach did nothing about it. So I'd like to hear from you if you think the coach, or are there enough coaches out there that can do this? I don't think it happens in the NBA. I really don't, because the NBA, you got players that make 35, 40 million, and you have coaches that make 6 or 8 million, which is a lot of money compared to coaches back in the day. I mean, I'm not saying that Phil Jackson would have benched Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan didn't have many games like that. I'm not saying Phil would have benched Kobe Bryant in the prime of his career, but Greg Popovich would bench a player from time to time and put his ass on the bench. I thought in hindsight, I didn't get it right when the game was going on. Carlisle should have benched Haliburton in that game. And if he would have benched him, he would have given his team an opportunity to win the game. So he hurt his team, and Haliburton hurt his team because he wanted to stay in the game. Now, there's another big story developing. We got sound from Brian Windhorst from ESPN on what's happening with Kevin Durant. This is beautiful. One of the greatest ring chasers of our lifetime is Kevin Durant. He's the definition of a ring chaser. And he went to the Warriors and he won 2 rings, but he won 2 finals MVPs. So not only did he win 2 championships, he was the MVP of the finals. Pretty successful. And then he left the Warriors, which was one of the dumbest decisions a modern day athlete left. Most athletes do not leave a great team. I mean, Tyreek Hill leaving Kansas City was a bonehead decision, right? It was not smart to go from Kansas City to Miami. Well, when it comes to Kevin Durant, the offers aren't coming in because Durant has no leverage. He's getting up there in age. He's still a brilliant player, but he's choosing between the teams he wants to play with. When normally people don't pick San Antonio over the years. They don't want to live in San Antonio. They don't pick it. but he's picking Houston, San Antonio, and Miami. And the Suns don't like what they're hearing back. Here's Brian Windhorst from earlier today.
3 teams on Durant's list, Miami, San Antonio, and Houston, have not made offers that have gotten Phoenix excited to this point. To this point is very important. Minnesota was aggressive at midseason, and Minnesota, from what I understand, has been the most aggressive team in these trade talks. I do think Toronto is lurking out there. Toronto is making the number 9 pick in this draft, in addition to some players available in multiple different scenarios. And I think the LA Clippers are lurking out there as well. But I would say right now, if I had to put a favorite, I definitely think Minnesota is the team that's been most aggressive.
Wow, it looks like Durant doesn't have many options, everybody. It really looks like Durant at the end of his career does not have many options at the end of his career, which is the way it's supposed to be. You're not as powerful at the end of the career as you were in the beginning of your career. So I think that is a big topic that we'll get to. So here's my job tonight. Let me get you through the third period of the Stanley Cup. If Florida wins, which I expect they will, they'll hoist the cup. We'll have some live audio of that. We'll get some post-game sound. I got Gerald Brown from NBA Radio coming up. Okay, we got Russell Baxter, the football guru, the NFL writer and historian. I booked him in here, so we'll have a little bit of everything coming in here. But I want to hear from you, and especially the people I called out. I'll start off with Joey in Long Island on the Yankees as we open up the show on Mad Dog. What's going on, Joey?
Freaking lineup that we have. But the fact that I don't know what we're doing with Jed trying to pick up third, he's a plus defender at second. Now because Boone got him at third and Beagle at second, we've got 2 subpar defenders at that position. Boone is out of his element. We're starting to make errors and strike out all over the freaking place. This is exactly what Boone does. He doesn't exude discipline from these guys. You can see that in the errors. I don't care what anybody says. Where we are and the struggles we're having is Boone.
All right, my buddy, your phone's breaking up. I got to run, but you made a lot of good points there. You made a point that I really wanted to clarify on when you said Boone doesn't bring about discipline from this team. This team has no discipline at the plate. Volpe proved that the other night with bases loaded, swinging at the first pitch. Boone can't get him out of these slumps. Boone can't get him to hit the other way. Boone doesn't bunt with the ghost runner on second base. I just think he's in over his head. I mean, he can obviously manage. He'll get a job in this league. He'll get a job. He's a manager, but he's not the right guy for the Yankees anymore. My entire youth was dominated by the Yankees of the 70s and 80s. And whenever they had to make a decision, George Steinbrenner led with fear. He led with fear. He's going to fire the manager or he's going to trade the player if you can't be a Yankee and get it done. There's no way that Aaron Boone would have lasted a year or two under George Steinbrenner. He's getting too much plank to walk. Chris in Tampa on the fall of the Yankees, and it's happening right now. Go ahead, Chris.
I couldn't agree with you more on Aaron Boone, but to me, a lot of it starts at the top with Steinbrenner. I remember a couple of years ago when they lost, they got embarrassed by the Astros. They were swept. And Steinbrenner got up, and we all know his father. His father would have been livid. Imagine getting swept by the Red Sox. It would have been an embarrassment. And he called it a success because they won the division. So to me, the whole mindset of the Yankees as an organization has gone from winning championships to just putting out a competitive product. And to me, Aaron Boone is just he's just a pawn. Like, I don't know what, I agree he's not a good manager. Everything you said is spot on. He can't manage a bullpen. He was never a great hitter. All the things you said is 100% accurate. But to me, I'm curious on what your thoughts are.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, let me jump in. You made a really good point. I greatly appreciate that phone call because you said a couple of things. You said that Aaron Boone is a pawn. He is a pawn in Brian Cashman's world. Brian Cashman was connected deeply with George Steinbrenner, the boss, very deeply, like a son. He passed away. The Steinbrenner sons relied on Brian Cashman to run the team, and he's run the team reasonably well. But it's been too long without a championship, and the gold standard has been lowered to the standard of the greatness of the Yankees during the DiMaggio Berra era, the Jeter standard that was set. The standard has been lowered in regards to what's acceptable or not. You nailed it. That's why they need a new voice. They need someone to come in. I was the guy who got it right on this channel. I said it was Bruce Bochy. Bruce Bochy won 3 World Series for the San Francisco Giants. And he was a former catcher and great with bullpens, and he was available. And he was sitting at home because I know him. One of my friends is one of his dear friends, and the phone wasn't ringing. Imagine if the Yankees called Bruce Bochy when he was out of work and made him the manager of the Yankees. You know how much better of a manager Bochy was than Joe Torre before Joe Torre got the job with the Yankees? When Joe Torre got the job with the Yankees, he couldn't do anything as a manager. And then he went on to greatness. Give Torre credit for that. Bochy's already been a Hall of Fame legend. He was sitting out there. He would have been perfect for the Yankees, and the Yankees passed on him. 888-623-3646. All night long, you'll be getting a recap. We have the Stanley Cup in the building in Sunrise, Florida. If the Panthers win, I know how to cover a championship. We'll get to that this hour right here on Mad Dog Sports Radio. Okay. All right. Thanks to everybody on the chat, man. This is what's going to happen when I do the night show. I only put the monologue up because it's a paid subscription site. So it's not a free radio show, but I give you the monologue because it's what I do. Thank you so much for doing this. I'm off tomorrow. I'll be back on Thursday on all the platforms. Become a bricklayer. Register. Sign up for free. Tell your friends about it. You know how much y'all mean to me. Thanks for watching and listening.